Spoiler Sleepover is sponsored by Vegan Curious, a one-woman owned and operated bakery that's out of this world.
Vegan Curious offers baked goods so delicious even meat eaters from Mars won't know they are cruelty-free. Vegan Curious is based out of Kitchen Local in Amesbury, Mass.
For all inquiries and information, go to vegancuriouskitchen.com and follow Vegan Curious on Instagram and Facebook.
Greetings, ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends. Welcome to Spoiler Sleepover, part of the Nerdcast Network. Join your hosts, Jason, Michael, and Rob, as they bring you on a slash-tastic adventure through cinema. Now, enjoy the show. It'll be a real scream of a time.
Welcome back, ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends, to Spoiler Sleepover, where everything's made up and the points don't matter. I'm Rob.
I'm Jason Michael.
Heyo. So, we're back at it again with top threes. It's my week, and we're literally on the final stretch of mine. We've only got a handful of movies left. We've got this one that we're going to be talking about, which so happens to be 1991's Child's Play 3, which is, as I mentioned, I believe in last week's episode, it's not the best entry into the series, but it's not bad. It's just, could be better.
It tries its little heart out.
Yeah. I mean, there's another podcast out there that dives into movies that weren't made. It's called The Best Movies Never Made, and they talk about scripts for sequels of movies that didn't get made, and Child's Play 3 is one of them, where they were actually attempting to continue the original Andy actor story, so they were going to bring him back again, same actor, and just be like, hey, there's been no break. This kid's been traumatized for 3 years straight. They were like, maybe we should leave this kid the fuck alone. Let's just jump 8 years into the future. But I'm jumping way too far in. Before we get into the episode, let's jump into a little something we like to call What's Been Keeping Us Up at Night. Oh boy, howdy. Not a whole lot, honestly. I'm still, shows are still coming back, including 911. So got to watch the first 2 episodes of that because that's back and it's great. So there's a spin-off of 911 called 911 Lone Star that has Rob Lowe in it, and it's a great show. And speaking of Rob Lowe, my fiance and I started watching this game show called The Floor that's hosted by Rob Lowe. It's a lot of fun. It's a good show. It's a bit of a dumb concept, but it's fun. We've been having a good time with it. Other than that, horror-wise, I finally watched Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. And it's so good. It's so good. I was amped. It's streaming for free now on, fuck Netflix, but it's on Netflix. So I haven't said that in a while. Oh, that was nice.
I feel like good. Netflix has a lot of stuff recently.
Yeah, they're trying to save face for fucking up constantly. So
getting a resurgence.
It's good. I really enjoyed it. You'll actually enjoy it. It's on Netflix, so just fucking watch it. It's
Honestly,
good.
I don't think I've clicked on Netflix on my TV intentionally in maybe a year.
Good. You want to know why?
Why? Because fuck Netflix. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, one of me. Just kidding. Enough of that. Jason Michael.
I don't think anybody's ever said that before.
No,
ever.
Like, get away from him. Jason Michael, what's been keeping you up at night?
Complete opposite direction of where you went. All I've been watching this week is Clone High on Max.
What the fuck?
Yep. It's got very dumb humor. That was also Clone High from when it was out in 2002. And
Right.
Now there's the second and third season, which are from 2023. So I don't know how I'm going to feel about those. I'm just hoping it's not going to go like crazy woke. Because, back in 2002, there was a lot of stuff in that cartoon that was just like, oh, wow. Like they cut Gandhi from the show entirely. He's still,
Jeez
quote,
Louise.
frozen, unquote. They just don't know how to handle him right now, is what they wrote. So,
Interesting.
yep.
I've
So
never-
we'll see if I watch anything past the first season.
Huh. Yeah, I've never watched the show, but I'd heard a whole bunch about it and like it coming out and then being canceled and then coming back, and I was like, okay.
Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys. And clearly, a lot of bad happens to the Kennedys.
Oh man. All right.
That was also in that clip. As soon as he finishes shouting that while driving, the car just does a front flip, just
Okay.
fucking out of nowhere.
Oh boy, howdy.
Yep. So Clone High. Other than that, honestly, not a lot.
All right. So that's what's been keeping us up at night. Why don't you hit us up on Instagram or Facebook and or both? Or you can email us at spoilersleepover@gmail.com. Let us know what's been keeping you up at night. We're interested.
And let us know if anything bad ever does happen to the Kennedys.
Seriously, though. But I'm pretty sure, Jason Michael, you've got something, don't you?
Indeed, I've got actually two things. One that I know we've brought up in our Creeping It Reels before. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is Creeping It Reels.
There we go.
Little late on the intro, but hey, better late than not at all.
Yeah.
Now, at the time of this recording, it wasn't too long ago. I believe it was earlier this week, but our good friend of the show and third co-host, Merman Christian, actually posted something. I know that Rob and I don't feel entirely strong about this, but it's actually could possibly be promising news for the future of this franchise. There was a picture from Neve Campbell about a Scream 7 script, as we know that the two lead actresses for 5 and 6, they left the project or were removed from the project. I believe it was left, though.
One was removed, the other left.
That's right.
Yeah.
I unfortunately can't remember Sam's actress's name, and Jenna Ortega is the other one. I feel really bad. I don't remember the first one's name. Neve Campbell, who played Sydney from the first 1, 2, 3, and 4, if I remember correctly. She wasn't in 5, was she? Actually, I think she was in 5 because it was all 3 of the original back. Courtney Cox, not David Schwimmer, the guy who looks like David Schwimmer though, and then Neve Campbell. They were all back in 5, I believe. So she wasn't in 6, but Neve Campbell has a script for the untitled Scream 7 project. So whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is yet to be seen. I feel like at some point, reluctantly, I feel like we might have to come back to it because that's pretty much what started our podcast, and we'll just get Christian on for it, and that might make it better for us.
Yeah.
Any more input besides disappointment and disapproval?
So,
That's a no.
as you may remember from season 1, we had, when I was rocking it with guest co-host, we had a TikTok famous co-host come on, Josh. He's been keeping up with his TikTok. It's amazing. First of all, y'all have to listen to our episode, go follow him on TikTok. The dude's a legend. But he made a video about it and about the news coming out. And I think that his point of view, I think a lot of people are in agree on, is the fact that the treatment of one female actress being removed from a movie and then another female actress following and leaving because of the treatment that she was given. And then we have this coming where Neve didn't even want to be in any of these, and now she's coming back. It's like, all right, cool. Why did the production company change hands? Because it was that production company that made the choice to remove the actress from. So like, I don't know. There's just, watch his video. He goes into it a lot better. It's on TikTok. You can find it, but it's also on his Instagram. You can follow him on Instagram. He posts everything there too. But I feel very strongly about the Scream series. I don't really like any of the movies at all. They're not good in my opinion. I know that they're fucking huge and people love them, and it's a dividing thing. But I mean, I'll maybe watch it when it comes around. I mean, we're gonna have to do an episode, so I'll watch it when it's streaming. I'm not even gonna fucking rent it. It's not getting a penny from me. I will watch it when it's streaming. I think it's stupid. There's no way the script is going to be worth shit. It's just not. No.
Scream 7, please be so good that it changes his opinion. I mean, I don't give a shit, but I just want something. I want something from this movie to just blow your fucking pants off to the point where you go, you know what? Scream's not that bad.
Yeah, that's
not going to happen.
no, not at all.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, aside from making it a versus movie where, whoever's Ghostface decides to fight somebody else in the horror realm.
Oh, connect it with the Halloween and Friday the 13th TV shows. That's the only way to save him. Well, no, that is if, those are good. Well, that's the way to save all three of them.
I say connect it with Saw. Just have John Kramer destroy fucking whoever's Ghostface. Call it a day.
What if he is Ghostface? Dun, dun, dun. But besides that, we're moving on from Scream 7 because I know we could wax... Sawface. We could wax philosophical about this, but again, I said we have 2 for Creeping It Real. This is another one where I don't entirely have much input because I never saw the original movie. At the time of recording, the day before this, the new trailer for The Crow with... Which Skarsgård is it? Bill?
No, it's Alexander.
No? Alexander.
No, it is Bill Skarsgård. Sorry.
Bill Skarsgård. Alexander was Tarzan, right?
Sure.
Yeah. And then Bill was Pennywise. He was or whoever also was in the Airbnb in Barbarian. Yeah. He's in a lot of shit coming up.
Barbarian. I love that movie. Love Barbarian.
Except for the goddamn tape measure. But anyway, he was brought on to be the Crow. Rob and I shared a brief moment of similar feeling of, God damn it, anybody else. Is he a tremendous actor? Absolutely. But man, I feel like he's getting the same treatment that probably Timothée Chalamet is about to get. I don't care for him. His face annoys the fuck out of me. Yeah. But when all of a sudden he's like, bam, up and coming, now he's going to get typecast, but he's also going to be in everything known to man. Because he's also in, I can't remember the name of the fucking thing, but he was in another trailer that just came out. It's like a fighting movie or whatever. And it's...
Oh, yeah. I saw that trailer this morning. It looked fucking dope. I was like, I'm here for it, but...
So he's going to be in like every fucking project. But The Crow, I've never seen it. I know you enjoy The Crow.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at every picture that has come out and then watching the trailer, I am thinking a few things. One, the trailer doesn't look that bad. Again, I have no frame of reference, any connection to the actual first Crow or any doing it justice. All I know is that it looks brutal. It looks really cool. But looking at the design, it just looks like Jared Leto's the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I'm looking at Bill Skarsgård going, bro, take a break. Just take a break and don't go with like the little peep face tattooed rapper look that everybody's going for. Again, they did it with the Jared Leto Joker, and every character doesn't need to be remade with face tattoos saying damaged across their forehead. So I don't have much input. Rob, please take it away.
So the reason the original Crow is so iconic is just because it's such a single level movie. Like there is no intense per se like action ramp up. It's very dreary, rainy, dark, heartfelt, heartbreaking, beautiful. It's just it's a great film. This one, I'm here for the gore. We get a quick snippet in the trailer of Skarsgård blowing some guy's face off with a gun. And it looks like we're going to see an obscene amount of gore. But the thing is...
That wasn't a Red Band trailer, was it?
I don't think so.
Because it was very violent for not a Red Band trailer, which is impressive.
Right, yeah. My thing is, this trailer, the way it looks, the way it comes across, if you took Skarsgård out and put Keanu Reeves in there, it looks like a John Wick movie. Like we're just seeing John Wick. Instead of losing a dog, now he's losing a partner. That's what the trailer looked like. On top of it, the aesthetic, the clothing, the style is a style that has been used over and over and over again since another movie had come out. Now, I'm not talking shit about this other movie because I fucking love this movie. It's fucking Fight Club, dude. Look at their clothing. Look at Marla Singer. Look at Tyler Durden. Now
Yep.
look at this. It's tattooed Tyler Durden come back from the dead. It's just I don't know. This is another movie. I will wait till it's streaming. I'm not going to go see it in theaters. I don't see a point. I love Skarsgård. Do not get me wrong. He's an amazing actor. He's done some amazing work, but this was not a smart casting choice. Not only that, it was not a smart casting choice. It was not a smart design choice. Like whoever decided that that's the look that this movie needs to be taken out back and fucking put down like Old Yeller. Like it's
Jesus.
a horrible fucking design choice. Don't remake the original in style, but don't do this. We don't need this. We deserve better. For those of us who are huge Crow fans and love what the original movie is and was, this is that you just spit in our face. This is an insult. Yeah, I'm not pleased. I'm not happy. I will watch it for one reason and one reason only. I'm just hoping that the brutality and gore level is high enough and that there aren't like a lot of crazy shaky camera angles like some bullshit action movies. I'm not excited for it. I'm just not. It's a real disappointment. So, yeah.
You know, when I texted you this yesterday and you didn't respond to anything about it, I didn't really bat an eye. But when I brought it up to you right before we started recording, and you're like, whoa. Keep this for Creeping It Real.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah. I've got people that I talk movies with aside from you, but I mean, like you're the main person, and the Crow conversation has not come up with any of them. I have overheard them say the Crow and have immediately turned away and walked the other direction because I'm like, no.
Damn.
I'm not having that conversation because I'm going to hurt feelings. But that's what this platform is for. Look, it's my opinion. That's what it is at the end of the day. If y'all are excited to see it, if one of you is excited to see it, go fucking see it. Again, like we said last week, like don't be a sheep, make your own decisions, make your own opinions, do what you want to do, like and hate what you are going to like and you're going to hate.
That's our Creeping It Real.
On to the next thing. What is popping out of them ear holes? Oh, look at that, Jason Michael. You've got earworms.
I had somebody come in and fumigate, and now they're just still there. God damn it, I want my money back. So I have, finding in my busy podcast rotation schedule, I have been finding time on my drives to and from work to listen to the audiobook of Bram Stoker's Dracula. Ooh. I've never listened to it. Years and years and years ago, I listened to H.G. Wells' The Invisible Man. I still make fun of how the guy who I listen to it says it, because, like, it's always The Invisible Man. It's like, oh, cool, Michael Caine is narrating this book. Also, just the way he says Kemp in the book is very funny. It's just Kemp. So that's why I have that. So if you go back in time and listen to our Invisible Man episode, that's the reason why. But audiobooks. So Rob, that's what I've been listening to. What's crawling around in your head?
Well, I'm going to kick it back to the year I graduated high school of 2004. Yeah, so I've been listening to. I'm saying 2004 for this specific album, but I've been listening to a lot of MF Doom recently. It's been a minute since I've really listened to him. I have an MF Doom tattoo, so this isn't like I'm discovering for the first time. I just kind of fell off of it for a minute and hadn't really listened to him. But if you don't know MF Doom, you're fucking up in life. But if you do, and you haven't listened to him in a hot minute, why don't you give Mad Villainy a listen? That came out in 2004. It's a great album, and it's absolutely fucking fantastic. There isn't a bad track. All of the little bits in between, it's just, it's so good. I fucking love MF Doom. Rest in peace, MF Doom. But yeah, check out Mad Villainy. It's fucking amazing. It's a great album. JB, for fuck's sake, like he's a rap dude. He loves his rap too and knows MF Doom. He knows I love MF Doom. I mean,
wiki,
if you know me, you know I love me some MF Doom. So yeah. Well,
motherfucking Doom?
Yes. No, it's Metal Face.
Oh.
The MF stands for Metal Face because he wears a metal face.
If that's the case, then I learned something new today. I've thought this entire time it was motherfucking Doom.
Nope, it is
motherfucker
Metal Face.
Doom. All right. Now we know, and knowing's half the battle. Bling, 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 bling. So that is our earworms for this week. Again, Please send us what you've been listening to. Send us your earworms. Chachi, looking at you and your possible record collection Instagram. Still waiting, buddy. Please.
Yes, we are.
Please. I just want to see it because so far what I've seen is incredible.
Yeah.
And like, I've got my own mini collection on the wall behind me, but damn, dude, damn. So
yeah, I've seen his collection in person, and I thought I had a lot of records, and I was wrong. I mean, I do. I have a lot of records, but not as much as he does.
Yeah. So again, send us your earworms. We'll shout you out on the Instagram and the Facebook, and absolutely we'll be listening to it, especially if it's good source material. So, as we were talking about, a 1991 classic. Rob, what are we talking about?
Yes. We're talking about Child's Play 3, the third chapter in the Child's Play series.
Volume 3.
The last one that holds the title of Child's Play.
Oh, shit, that's right.
All the movies after this are Chucky titled films. This movie is, I know I'm restating myself multiple times at this point, but it's definitely not, but it's not the best add into the series because we do get such a large jump and actor change only a year after 2 came out, which is insane because they just did it again. 1 was so great that they were like, this is a great movie. Start shooting 2. And then we got 2 a year later. And then they were like, this is amazing. Shoot 3. And then they shot 3 and they were like, that didn't do so good. And then it was like 7 years before we got the next movie. So, and the name change is simply just because of change of studio. One studio owned the name Child's Play and they wanted to keep it going because Don Mancini had other scripts and other ideas. And so he was like, we can just title it Chucky. That's fine. People know who Chucky is. We open up in the factory that we ended 2 in, but this time everything's covered in cobwebs. We got all of these good guy heads on conveyor belts covered in cobwebs just being cleaned up by people, disembodied hands and all that jazz. And then we get a nice cut to somebody walking by a giant pile of melt, which is even funnier because it's clearly not the same melted body as 2 because this one has clothes and hair. And yeah, there was no clothes or hair at the end of 2. So
yeah. It's been a minute since I've seen this. Like, I've only seen it once, and I don't remember anything except for the ending. And the ending was very like, oh, that's how that happened.
We see Chucky. We see Charles Lee Ray from 2 melted, and some random ass giant crane hand just comes down and
the claw.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I watch this movie all the time, and every time I'm just like, I say the same thing. I'm like, oh, it's the claw. All right, cool. So this random claw just unsticks the melt from the ground, and there's still blood. And the claw goes across the giant wax pot vat, and blood drips in there, and it starts a spinning and coming to life. And we get the most underwhelming title card I've ever seen in my life. It is so bad.
The title card's bad, but the opening credits, like the reverse shots, and those are. Yeah. I loved this opening credits. Like I forgot what the hell happened. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Like they actually that's how they brought him back.
They actually did the heating thing. So they put a camera up and they heated it up and melted it, the head and everything. Obviously, it's a reverse shot, but it's so cool. It also makes fucking no sense.
No, not at all. But that doesn't mean it's not cool.
Yeah, because it's just like, all right, it's a giant vat. There's clearly nothing in there other than the latex or plastic or whatever. But somehow there's a form, and it forms, and he screams at the camera. And we jump to 8 years later, 8 years after the first movie, and we find out that the company that made the Good Guy doll has gone under. Because of Andy's claims, quote-unquote claims, actual truths, but because of Andy and the killer doll, the company went under, and they have decided, it's been long enough, fuck that kid, we're going to start making the good guy dolls again.
He's ancient history. Nobody remembers him. Nobody cares. Wow, fuck you, dude. Fuck you.
That's
money-hungry bitch.
That's clerical speak for fuck that kid. Like, that's all it is. So they decide to go forward with making these good guys. They say the factory's up and running. They're ready to go by the following week. And then they gift the CEO with the first one off the assembly line.
The first good guy of the 90s.
And we know who that is. So we cut to the CEO in his house, I guess.
High-rise apartment.
Yeah.
Looking like this fucking scene at a Big.
My favorite moment every time I watch this movie, like as the years go on, I always forget. It's such a small little thing, but I'm always like, what the fuck? He's in this apartment. It's huge. He's got train tracks on the ceiling, which are just the dopest thing ever.
I would have that going all the time if this was my place.
Fucking same, dude.
So underutilized. We see one scene of the train moving and then nothing else. We see a cool toy helicopter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Blows up.
He shuts the lights off in his apartment to watch TV. And it's like, this is a CEO. He's a millionaire. He's got this huge, beautiful place. And I'm expecting him to turn on like a wall that's a TV. And he just turns on the normalest TV you've ever seen, like something you'd see in like a small suburban home. Like,
he spent all his money on his ceiling train tracks. God.
Seriously. But he watches the news for, I don't know, 3 seconds before the handle of a golf club appears behind him.
It's really fucking funny.
Yeah. He doesn't even
question
takes a sip of his whiskey. No. He takes a sip of his whiskey and then grabs the putter, and it's a golf club, and he just plays a little bit of golf. Yeah, it's... And then the TV turns off, and he goes looking for the remote and can't find it. And it's at the moment, right as he's playing golf, we realize that the Chucky, the good guy doll, is missing from the box. He not in there no more.
Such an oblivious, unaware fucking character. This movie does a great job with coming up with people that you fucking despise, but god damn, are they just dumb as a fucking bag of rocks?
Yeah, he's not the brightest bulb in the tool shed. He goes searching for the remote under the couch. Chucky slides it to him. He turns the TV back on and promptly gets thwapped in the head with the same golf club. And I don't quite understand how homeboy dies, but Chucky throws a bunch of darts at him.
He spills some marbles that he walks over and trips on too. Like, oh god.
Yeah.
There's also what is it? Polly and Larry, the two other good guys that distract him.
Yeah, I have that note here too, which is funny because he only has the one. Where'd the other two come from? Did Chucky?
Yeah, the first one of the 90s, but the other two have the exact same new model design. The face is like a little more round.
Yeah, and but where did they come from? Because they weren't there. He walked in to his apartment with one, and now there's three. Like
we give you the first one of the 90s, and the second, and the third.
Does Chucky have the same rules as Gremlins? Did he just get wet and make two more? Yeah, so he falls on marbles. They make a good point to continuously show that the CEO's got a bad back. Every time he stands up, he holds his back. So then he falls on the marbles and clearly fucks his back up more. Golf club to the head, bunch of darts to his body.
He strangles him with a yo-yo as he tries to go for the phone. He's like, nothing like a good strangulation to get the circulation going. I was like, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But God,
that's
damn.
Right. Chucky then goes on over to a computer from 1991 and looks up Andy Bartley to figure out where the fuck he be at. And we find out that he is at a military academy.
It's a cliche that I fucking hate. So we get to the military academy and, there's the whole talk about like, no, I know, I'm reading your file. I can read, but what is your story? Why are you here? It's like, okay, cool. Now shape up, go down, get your hair cut, blah, blah, blah. And we just meet a bunch of asshole characters. We meet a bunch of asshole military characters who a lot of them, or the main guy, is just a teenager with a fucking chip on his shoulder, and somebody said, hey, good job, buddy, you get a gold star, you're now lieutenant commander, or whatever the fuck. So it's like a 17-year-old who thinks he's big swinging dick through a doorway, and he's the bully. I know that military school probably has those people that are just like, what the fuck are you doing? And like, hopefully to better somebody, not just the goddamn cliche of, I'm going to make your life a living hell by being a bully. And it's like, So you're not helping me in any way. You're just an asshole. You're just a school bully.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't like it. I've seen it too much.
90s, in like the 80s and 90s, there was a trend of parents sending their kids, troubled kids, unruly kids, to military academies to shape them up.
Beyond scared straight.
Literally. And it stopped, obviously in the 2000s when things started getting like, hey, kids are being hurt.
Yeah.
You can look into it. Some of our listeners out there that are around my age will remember there was a huge scandal in the 90s of military academies and military trainings where, needles were being inserted into, people's chests and stuff like that. It was intense. So, yeah, they're feeding into a stereotype in the movie, but it's also the reality of the time, which is, it's crazy to think like 1991 was a fucking long time ago at this point. It's kind of bananas to think about the fact that it was that long ago, but it also is, it's of the time.
Yeah. But I just don't, again, it's such a stereotype or cliche, and I've seen it before. It's just like, I'm sitting there the whole time going, Andy, just leave. Walk out the door. Like, they physically cannot keep you here. Call the cops. There's phones, dude. Like, I get you were sent there because you've been bouncing around from foster care to foster care, but you're like, dude, I'm being legitimately beaten here.
Right.
He's 16, still a child, still technically a minor.
Right. And I mean, again, it was, the times are different. If he had called the cops back then, they would have been like, get over it. Like, you're shit.
Grow a pair, you Nancy.
Yeah, you're part of the system at this point. And this is where the system ended you up because you couldn't get your shit together after all the trauma you went through. Because nobody fucking still, to this day, like at this point in these movies, nobody believes Andy. It's just, it's the unfortunate thing. It's just like, for fuck's sake. Hey, it's happened more than once. Maybe there's some validity to what this kid's saying.
No.
Nope, there sure isn't. He's crazy. So yeah, he meets with the colonel that runs the academy, and basically he tells him to fly straight. Like, just do what you're told and you'll be fine. And then he tells him to go down and get his haircut, and we meet the creepiest barber on planet Earth.
So I wrote down, where do I fucking know this guy from? And then I thought about it and I went, holy shit, that's the cuck dad Larry from Hellraiser.
Yep.
And for those of you that are sitting there going, cuck dad? Yes, the dad in Hellraiser basically lets everybody oogle his bitch of a wife who, fucking likes to kill people and fucked his brother. But, he just doesn't do anything about it. He sits there and is spineless. It's like the movers who are, like, oogling her. It's like, hey, you guys want some beer? Cool, yeah, I'll go get some.
He also played Garrick. I'm trying to remember how to pronounce his name. I'm pretty sure it's Garrick. He was on I'm a Trekkie. Another super
Garrick.
Nerdy thing about Rob. I'm a Trekkie. He was on Deep Space Nine. So yeah, I'm a nerd. You're a nerd. We're all nerds. We're horror nerds, and I like sci-fi too. So yeah, we meet the creepiest barber in the world. He's way too close and being a little creepy. There's a deleted scene, by the way.
Oh God.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed the background in the two scenes we had in the barbershop where there's pictures on the walls. Did you notice the pictures in the background?
It kind of looks Iron Maiden-y, pinup girl soldier.
No, not that one.
Oh.
All of the other photos. Of the Polaroids. So
wait. Oh God, yeah, no, I remember those. Oh, I hate where this is going already.
So all of those are pictures of the cadets that he's cut hair for, and he has locks of their hair next to them. So if you rewatch it, you can see all that. There's a deleted scene where he collects Andy's hair and ties it up and puts it up. And yeah, he does like your first haircut, and he takes their picture. If you own the DVD or any of the Blu-rays or the DVDs, the deleted scene's there. There's also a director's cut you can watch, which makes the movie almost 2 hours long, and it's completely unnecessary because it's a lot of like, oh, let's talk more. Let's get to know more of the cadets. And you're like, I don't.
Exposition.
Yeah. Well, like you end up feeling bad for Whitehurst more because of stuff that they cut out. If you watch all of it, you're like, oh, I feel really bad for Whitehurst because you get.
I mean, I still do though.
Yeah. Well, you get to find out why he's there, and it is upsetting. We haven't even met Whitehurst yet, and I already brought his name up. But yeah, so he's getting his hair cut, and then Andy, after his hair is cut, he goes up to his room, and he hears some movement in his closet and opens the door, and we meet Whitehurst. He is bound and gagged in the closet, sort of like Andy was in 2 by Chucky.
And also, if you think about it, this is where Andy's like, oh my God, Chucky's already here because he's living through all this PTSD and this trauma.
Yeah, because while he was in the barber shop, he meets Tyler, who is this young kid who's there because his dad's in the military. He's a pilot. And there's an ad that comes on the TV for the good guys being back. And Andy, like, literally has PTSD. It gets tunnel vision. The sound cuts out for him.
Tyler's enjoying it.
Oh, yeah. Boy, howdy is it. I mean, Tyler is he is Andy at that age. Like, Andy was amped for the good guys when the good guys came out. And now that the good guys are back, a whole new young generation is excited for a good guy doll. And it seems like he's the same age. I mean, there's a moment coming up where Tyler's running with a box.
Yeah.
And he's running exactly the same way that Andy runs with the box in the first movie. If you watch them.
No shit.
Yeah. If you watch the shots side by side, they're running identical. I'm a child with a large box running with this toy with whatever I have because they're both wrapped in brown paper. Yeah. Huh. It's a mirror where we're seeing Andy 8 years later.
That's cool, dude.
As a young black child.
I did not piece that together at all.
Yep. And that's what this is. It's like almost like a restart. Chucky's getting a second chance.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially when that comes up, I didn't even think about it. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. This is why Mancini's the shit, dude. I'm telling you, this guy, he's a fucking genius. And anyone who hates the Child's Play movies, you're just wrong. You're looking at them wrong. You're wrong. Get out. Go bye. I'm just kidding. Listen to the rest of the episode and then you can leave.
But then come back next week.
Yeah, because it won't be Child's Play. You can have something else to listen to.
But then keep coming back every week.
Yeah, because we love you. You suckers are the best. Literally the best. So we end up meeting Whitehurst. Whitehurst is he's been there long enough that he was like, hey, we don't have identities here because Andy introduces himself as Andy and everybody goes by their last name. So we then end up meeting the worst person, the person you already mentioned, Shelton. And Shelton is, and I quote this is my notes, Shelton is a twat. Because he is.
You're an asshole, sir.
And he is kind of he's a student there, but he's also kind of a drill sergeant in the sense that he's running, all of the routines and stuff that they do. So
he's the senior in charge of the freshmen.
Right. So we're outside at this point and he's running everyone through their routines and gives Andy a bit of a hard time because he's the new guy. And then we meet De Silva, who is fucking awesome. And she just calls him an asshole.
Major Kyle vibes right off the bat.
Yeah. And he walks up and he's like, what'd you call me? And she was like, I called you an asshole, sir. And he's like, drop and give me 25. And she goes, 25 what? Like, her character is the best in this movie. Like, she's just like, yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Like, De Silva is one of those people I could see just fucking walking out of this place.
Yeah. We cut now to Tyler kind of wandering around, and he goes to the mail room to see if he received anything from his dad. This is when we find out that his dad is a fighter pilot. Then his dad hasn't been back yet. Also, deleted scene, we end up finding out later in the movie that his dad dies. But that is cut out. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of they went ham. So yeah, Tyler goes to see if he's got mail. He doesn't, but the sergeant that's running the mail room asks him to deliver a package to Andy, to the new kid, Andy. So he gives him this large box. And as I mentioned, he's running down the hallway. And if you watch him run, it's how Andy runs. It's really cool. but he gets bumped into by two adults, I'm going to assume. I mean, he's tiny, so which knocked the box out of his hand. So he picks it back up. He runs up the stairs, runs into somebody else. The box goes down the stairs, rips open. He realizes he's a good guy and fucking takes off with it. He's like, I've wanted one of these. Fuck Andy. This is mine. And he goes downstairs, I'm assuming to a basement where a lock room, and opens it up, and it's a good guy, and it's Chucky, obviously. And he's super excited, and Chucky just busts out of the box like the Kool-Aid man coming through a wall. And he's like, who the fuck are you? Where's Andy? That's the name on the box. Like, you fucking asshole. And
don't you know how to read?
Yeah. Then he has the realization that he's not just he's not moved from one doll to the other. The old doll, the body that he had in 2 is gone. Like, all that's remaining is an essence. He is fully and wholly new, which means he just has to reveal himself to somebody for the first time, and he can play hide the soul. And so he reveals himself, and we get to see it this time because we didn't see it in 1. It's just Andy telling us. But this time he goes, my real name is Charles Lee Ray, and then proceeds to try and play hide the soul. And that gets interrupted, as it almost always does. And they're like, hey, don't play with dolls. And the Colonel takes Chucky away, and Tyler goes on his merry old way. As Chucky is as Chucky's being carried away, the doll, like in the good guy doll voice, he says, "I'll be back," which is kind of a cool reference because yes, they are referring to Terminator. But Terminator 2 came out the same year. So 1991, we had Child's Play 3 and Terminator 2. So we cut to outside, and they're running drills outside, and Andy's out there, and they're like doing gun drills with their rifles. And Andy looks over and sees Chucky being carried, and again goes into a PTSD breakdown and drops his rifle and he's in shock. He's for the first time in 8 years, he's actually seeing the Chucky doll, and he freaks out. And this is when we get Shelton realizes that Andy dropped his rifle, and he's just like, I'm not good with guns. And he goes, this isn't a gun, it's a rifle, and grabs somebody. He goes, show him the difference. And he does something that I still quote to this day, which is funny. But he goes, this is my rifle. This is my gun. This is for pleasure. This is for fun. And the gun
Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, the gun and fun is, if you've seen Full Metal Jacket, then yeah. If you haven't,
this is for fighting. This is for fun. God.
They're referring to their genitalia. So Chucky ends up getting thrown into a dumpster, and the trash truck shows up and picks it up and drops him into the back.
This is so sad to me because the man's just doing his job, and he's like, so what happens is basically the dumpster's picked up, and the dump truck guy, the garbage man, hears screaming and help me please from the bed of the garbage truck. We know who it is, and he doesn't. He just thinks, oh my God, someone's in the dumpster. That's not where they should be. Oh my God, I got to go help them. He's being a good guy. Well, that's a lack of a better term. He's being no, he's not. No. He's being a really nice gentleman. All right. Damn it. But he climbs into the back to go help the person because he thinks, oh shit, this is a fucking kid. So he climbs in. He's like, say something, call out. And then Chucky gets out, gets into the front, and starts the compactor, which is pushing and closing and sending all the trash to the grinder. And
which isn't a thing in garbage trucks, by the way. Even back then, it wasn't a thing. I was just like, what the fuck is this thing? Grinding trash?
The compress, that is in some trucks. Like, they have it in different ways, but it's usually like a little thing in the back. But the guy's reaching up like, help, no, wait, help. And his arm gets cut off by the fact that the compactor is pushing towards the top of a truck, and his arm gets cut off, and everybody hears the scream.
Yeah.
Everybody.
You know, one of the things about this scene that is just amazing to me is, again, the screaming from within the truck, the help me is the same. Like, there's so much like distress behind it and pain. Like, he's actually like in pain. Like the past two movies when he's on fire and he's screaming like, ah, ah! Like
it's
my
like,
dude
oh
knows
my
how
God.
to fucking scream, dude. He does a good job.
I just got this body.
Seriously. Oh man. So the truck driver's dead.
Oh, it's so sad, honestly.
What did
It
I
makes
do
you
here?
feel.
So we're back inside at this point in Andy and Whitehurst's room, and they're having some monotonous, meaningless conversation. And then Whitehurst is like, "Hey, did you get that package?" And he's like, "What?" And right before he asks that, Chucky happens to be in the room, and he's hiding in like
Surprise.
a chest for storage. And Andy's like, "No, I didn't get any package." "Nope, sure didn't." And turns around and opens the chest, and it's empty. Chucky gone. He done dipped out.
He had a pocket knife that he just left on a book, and I went, well, that's going to come in handy in a few moments.
Yeah, sure is. So Whitehurst leaves the room, and Andy sits on his bed to fold a blanket, and then we see the Chucky hand with the knife come out from underneath the bed and cuts the back of Andy's leg,
The
which,
Achilles tendon, pretty much. It's
We
very
never-
Gage from Pet Cemetery.
yeah, but here's the thing. We never go back to it. He doesn't have a limp in any scene. He doesn't bandage it up. He doesn't...
Did he cut his fucking high tops? What happened?
Seriously, like, it's just... It happens. He says, "Ow." He falls down.
I don't think it was
Yeah.
cut. I think it was like on the shoe and he felt it press, or like on the back of his jeans. Chucky just missed,
Right.
maybe. That's my headcanon, because otherwise this man, like, he'd be hobbling. He wouldn't be able to do a damn thing for the rest of this movie. He'd be bleeding
Right.
out. He'd be dead.
But Chucky comes out from under the bed and shows Andy that he's still alive. And Andy's like, "Nope, we fucking killed you. Like, you're dead." And he goes, "Clearly I'm not." And he actually says, "You can't keep a good guy down."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Look, I'm bigger now. I can take you. You're not gonna get me." And he goes, "Actually, I have a new body. So I'm going after Tyler." And he says a rather problematic line right after that. So yeah, Chucky just lets him know, like, "Yep, I'm not here. I'm just here to make sure you don't fuck up my plans." And so his plan is to kill Andy, to keep Andy the fuck out of his hair so that he can take over Tyler. Play hide the soul. Like, hide the soul. Well, he attacks. They have a little bit of a tussle. Andy's beating the shit out of him, and then Shelton walks in and was like, "What do you miss your mommy?" And
You homesick?
takes the Chucky.
Fuck off.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's like, my cousin's
he
birthday
takes
is coming up
Chucky.
or some shit.
yeah. My little girl cousin or whatever. But
Yeah.
Andy ends up sneaking into Shelton's room that night to go and find Chucky and finish the job for the third time. This poor guy.
Third time!
Oh man, I mean, it doesn't stop. Andy does not get a break. Like, he just doesn't. Looking at you, the TV show, Andy's still around. He's still dealing with this shit. Spoilers, but
At Spoiler Sleepover.
yeah, buddy. Chucky surprises Andy. He has a fucking huge hunting knife, and
From fucking his wall of just weaponry anyway. Psychopath.
Shelton's a bananas. He's
I mean,
unhinged.
I know I have a sword rack with the Wolfman cane, a lightsaber, and an actual katana that I earned in martial arts, but like, goddamn, this guy's like,
Yeah, only everything out of everything on your rack, only one of those is effective, and that's the cane.
don't you talk about my rack that way.
Oh boy, it's a nice one too.
Anyway.
It's just motorboat. Andy sneaks into Fuckface's room in the middle of the night to get Chucky back and kill him. because we need Chuck dead. Chucky arrives behind him with a giant hunting knife from the wall of fuck-uppery.
Yeah, dude.
And scares the shit out of Andy. Andy falls into bed with Shelton, waking Shelton up, who then chokes him, pins him to the wall, threatens him. And we then watch Chucky run out of the room. And he's like, "Where's the doll?" Well, he didn't steal it, because how does one steal something whilst they're still in the room?
Listen,
we now find out that
he's not that
Shelton
bright.
a bully. Yeah, I was going to say, not only we find out that not only is he a bully, he's not the brightest bulb.
He's also an idiot.
dunce. Yeah, he's a complete fucking moron. So Shelton ends up getting everybody in that area to go outside at midnight and walk in a circle in the mud while it's raining. The Colonel comes out and isn't quite pleased with it, but understands the logic and is like, all right, well, don't have him out here past 1, basically. So
Thanks, pal.
Andy decides to break away to try again to find Chucky, and Shelton catches him and punches him in the gut, and Andy hauls off and punches him in the face. I've got to say, 8-year-older Andy's punch is way weaker than child Andy's punch in 2 when he decks fucking Chucky off the bed. He's gotten a bit weak in his old age.
I mean, to be fair, that was a doll versus an actual, 17, 18-year-old dude.
Yeah, but the swing was different. I mean, granted, it's 2 completely different actors, but
True.
So they go back. I mean, he's like, I'm going to show you. And then they're just back doing stuff because there's a deleted scene. Bazayo!
A deleted scene after that doesn't make it feel so useless.
Yeah. So it's out of order. They're walking in a circle. The original cut, they're walking in a circle. Then he has them change to what we end up seeing in the theatrical release, where they're doing stuff like holding the guns above their head and doing more routine stuff. And then Andy breaks away, and when he punches Shelton, he's like, I'm going to make an example out of you. They fight. They have a fight. Andy loses.
Really?
Shelton kicks the shit out of him. So
to be expected, but damn. Okay, all right, cool. I love deleted scenes that feel like they should be in the movie. Cough, frozen, cough.
Right. So Chucky is now wandering the academy looking for Tyler. He goes to Tyler's room, and Tyler has left a note in his bed that says, "Come find me. My friend Charles. Come and find me." And Chucky's not pleased. He's like, God damn it. So they're basically playing, I can't even call it hide and seek, because Tyler's not hiding, he's just running away. And he hides in a closet he hides in the closet in the Colonel's office. Chucky finds him and again tries to play hide the soul. And De Silva and Pippi
Unnamed
Longstocking,
woman numbing.
Yeah, Ginger Snaps. We'll call her Ginger Snaps. Walk in street clothing, as the military people would say, into the Colonel's office and look up Andy's file to see. Yeah, he was a bit of a damaged kid, and that's why he's here.
Why do you like this kid so much?
He's damaged.
I can fix him.
The girls hear a noise in the closet, and they open it, and they find Tyler in there with Chucky, and they take it and put lipstick on him, and then they hear someone coming, and they drop Chucky and bolt. The Colonel then walks into the office, all suspicious, notices his pencils are knocked over, picks them up, puts them
Still
back,
rolling,
looks
too.
over his desk, and there's Chucky with lipstick on, laying on the floor. So he picks him up and drops him head first into a trash can. I don't know why, but literally every time I watch this movie, that moment makes me laugh.
It's funny because, through this whole process, the girls opening the closet, interrupting Hide the Soul, and the whole putting lipstick on him, he's screaming internally like, God damn it, son of a fucking bitch. Now he gets dropped on his head. He's like, ah! He's just livid. Hence why when he fucking pops around the corner, it's just like, that's it.
Yeah.
One more person.
It's the straw that broke the camel's back. So he drops Chucky head first into the trash can, turns around. We hear the trash can fall over. He turns back around, Chucky's gone. So he goes walking towards the desk, and Chucky pops out from around the corner just screaming. He's got a knife.
That's it.
And the fucking dude has a heart attack. And he's gonna go, Chucky just goes, "You gotta be fucking kidding me."
I said the same fucking thing.
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Like, really?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh my
So the Colonel has a heart attack. He falls back onto his little war display and crashes. And then we just jump forward to the fact that he's dead, and everyone's sad and mourning him in the mess hall. And then we go back to having our meal. And Andy stands up to leave the table, and he's informed, "You can't just stand up during mass." And he doesn't fucking listen. And so then he gets tripped and he falls, and everyone laughs. And he goes over and talks to Tyler, and he's like, "Look, man, you cannot trust Chucky. Like, he's not your friend. He's not good. He's bad. You can't trust him." And Tyler isn't having any of it. He's just like, "Nope. He's my
You're just
friend."
upset he's my friend.
Yeah. Like a brat. We then get this really great cut back to old Creepy the barber, giving somebody else another fucking haircut. Another shot where you get to see the other side of the room where there are more Polaroids with hair clippings attached to them on the wall. Go back and watch those clips. It's really uncomfortable and weird. And he cut somebody's hair and says, "You're bald," like he's been doing with everybody. And he goes, after the kid leaves, he goes looking for something in the cabinet, and we can see in the fogged glass cabinets that Chucky's in there. And Chucky falls out, and the barber is like, "Well, looks like you need a cut." And so he puts the Chucky doll in the chair and goes to cut his hair, and Chucky grabs a straight razor and cuts his throat and just goes, "Presto, you're dead." That's just fucking ridiculous. And at that exact moment, Whitehurst walks in, seeing Chucky laughing maniacally, unfortunately.
I forgot my uh-oh.
And Chucky turns to Whitehurst and just goes, "Boo!" And Whitehurst runs off. We have another emotionally and mentally scarred and damaged person running around this academy.
Which leads into one of the biggest what the fucks is this I've ever seen in a movie.
Go on.
War games.
Yes, so we jump into the war games. Simulated war, hunting humans, because that's legitimately what war is. There's the red team and the blue team. They have their rifles that somehow have paintball rounds in them.
This pisses me off.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's not a thing that I know of. Dude, I could be wrong. But to fire a rifle, you need gunpowder. And if you're firing out paint, even with gunpowder, at the rate a bullet comes out, it's going to kill somebody. You're going to die.
Yep.
No matter what.
That's why it's CO2. But also at the same fucking point, we do riflery. We never keep the actual live ammunition with the rifles. Never. So that whole thing, A, pisses me off. B, also kind of takes me out of it. Because, like, dude, any self-respecting, I know it's the 90s, any self-respecting military academy would not have live ammunition next to practice rifles, which are all marked. Reds, blues, they're all meant to go with paint. There's live ammunition that Chucky loads into every single one of these fucking rifles. And
yeah, he loads the live ammunition into one of the teams. So only one of the teams have live ammunition. So the war games proceed as each leader is given a map. They're sent out into the woods to post up and then find each other, basically, like war. We get this nice little, it's night, camp scene, time to tell spooky stories, and De Silva's telling a story about somebody being dragged. Andy's had enough of it and fucks off.
Yep.
She follows suit behind him, and they have a cute little moment. You find out her name's Kristen. You're like, oh, it's her real name. And then she's like,
find out there's a fucking carnival.
Yeah, she goes, I want to show you something cool, and shows him the carnival. And they hear something, and she goes, it must be a squirrel. And he's like, oh, nothing scares you, does it? She's like, nope. And then we find out, and then she kisses him. And yeah, Chucky sees it and he goes, God, I got to get out of this body.
Fair.
Which
very fair.
Is funny because that ideal of his good guy body has no sensation or feeling, because that changes very quickly in the next movie. So look forward to Bride of Chucky.
Spoilers for Spoiler Sleepover.
Yeah. Well, Andy goes back, steals the map because he needs to find Tyler before Chucky finds Tyler. He asks Whitehurst to help him. Whitehurst says, nope, I am scarred and I am no use to anybody right now. So Andy takes off on his own. The heads wake up, realize the map is missing. They need to tear down camp. They need to go find him. Shelton draws the conclusion that Andy's working with the other team, which obviously is not the truth. So
it's also a fucking game, dude.
Yeah, well, he takes everything way too far and way too seriously.
God.
In general.
Tyler's going through the woods with Chucky on his back. And earlier, when Andy was like, hey, Chucky's dangerous. Don't go near him. And he's like, you just want him because he's my friend. He hands him a knife saying, keep this with you.
Yeah.
Chucky brings him up and basically Tyler's like, I don't want to play hide the soul anymore, Charles. And he's like, stop fucking calling me that. And he just gets upset. So Tyler then stabs him and he starts bleeding. And that's when Tyler takes off. And
yeah,
Andy eventually finds him. Then the whole team traitor, who's he, what's it, De Silva's out there. They're trying to make contact and Chucky jumps her.
Yeah, right. So Chucky is holding De Silva hostage with a grenade, which is idiotic, but I guess it works for some reason, and calls the team over the walkie, and Shelton thinks it's a ploy to have them come out so they lose the game, because that's all he's thinking about is the war games.
Yeah,
well,
fuck that guy.
It's not. And Chucky demands that they bring Tyler. So Andy and Tyler show up, and they do a trade, De Silva for Tyler. And as soon as they get there, Shelton's team shows up and just starts firing paintballs at fucking nothing.
Before this, Chucky started and called the red team to say, hey, I see the blue team up by the old Jeep. Come on up. They might be making an advance.
Right. And so the other team shows up.
Who's got the live rounds?
They shoot Shelton. Okay.
So I know we've been literally tearing this fucking character apart. He's an asshole. Absolutely. I did not like his death. I felt it was actually sad because these kids are out here just fucking playing paintball. All of a sudden, there's a child about to be charged with murder.
Do you also notice how they're like, his breathing, it's slowing. I don't think he's breathing. And then we never get back to the fact that Shelton was shot.
Yeah.
In the shoulder.
Yeah.
And it was
kind of like left chest. Like he got fucking nailed.
Right.
And
guess what? Deleted scene. He's not dead.
Oh, for fuck's sake. All right, never mind. I don't feel bad anymore.
He gets capped and he's fine. Like he's hurt, but he's fine. Because somebody else gets capped at the end of this movie and they're also fine. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck, yeah. That was like briefly revisited. Yeah. I mean, my original headcanon thinking he was dead was like, these kids have no idea, and the actual horror, because as soon as he gets shot and they're firing at the other team, the rest of the team is going, they're using live rounds! And Whitehurst, or is it Whitehurst?
Yeah, so Chucky says, fuck you, and throws the grenade. Whitehurst realizes the grenade has been thrown and jumps on top of it.
He's being a hero. He's not being a chicken anymore or anything like that. And nobody knows because the second in command doofus that was basically following everything Shelton did beats up Andy going like, you did this, you son of a bitch. And then Whitehurst just becomes a fucking hero. And this is more, I've never seen a body exploded by a grenade. Thank God. Honestly, I would have expected this thing to go and like fly apart. It's just everything is absorbed in his stomach. And it's worse to me.
I won't get into detail, but I know what happens. So
that's like Christopher Lee in Lord of the Rings. That's not the sound someone makes when they get stabbed. Cool. You do what you know.
Tyler and Chucky take off to the carnival. So Tyler is at the carnival and he runs into a security officer who is packing heat. And
Yep.
he tells him that he needs help, that he's being chased by somebody named Charles. And he's like, "Oh, do you want a piece of gum?" Red flag, sir. You're a stranger. Don't offer a child candy.
You want some popsicles? I got
And
a
then he
whole
goes-
freezer full of popsicles.
Get your pigly ass back here. So
Get your fat ass back here.
you pigly son of a bitch. I fucking. Well, then the officer goes, "Oh, I know something that'll make you feel better," and just grabs Chucky. He's got Chucky.
It's like, wow, we might actually, have some happiness. No, fucking, oh, look what somebody brought to me. It's a good guy doll. Surprise, it's fucking Chucky. Like, hi, motherfucker.
Yeah.
He's got the blue splattered paint on his shoulder and on his face from when they fired at him earlier. So it's like, oh, you shit.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
So Andy and De Silva get to the carnival also and go directly to the security tent and find the security officer dead with a single gunshot to the head.
Okay.
And
I was expecting, because there was the whole helium tank off to the side and it seemed like it was very prominent, I was hoping some sort of like balloons inflating out of his eyes or something, because it's child's play. We've seen some creative shit and it's just bang.
we could do a whole episode on things that should have happened and deleted scenes. I'm getting tired of talking about the deleted scenes. So,
Just put
De
him in the
Silva
movie.
De Silva grabs the gun. Chucky notices a haunted ride called the Devil's Lair. Just dope. That whole fucking front of that ride looks awesome, dude. Like, I would ride the fuck out of that thing. So Chucky and Tyler go in there, and Tyler breaks away, tries to keep getting away from Chucky, and just keeps getting foiled. The ride's on a track, like it's kind of a roller coaster, but it's kind of not a roller coaster. It's a real confusing ride. It's also just an OSHA violation.
Oh, fuck it. Oh, my. I fucking wrote OSHA violation. Holy fucking shit. Oh.
This is why we're friends.
Yeah. So Tyler's being faced with all the animatronics in the world. Everything opens up. You can get into anything. And he's like climbing in. The gates are closing. That's a bad thing because somebody could get trapped in there. Yes, it opens back up. But again, someone could get fucking trapped in there. Andy shows up with De Silva. She gets shot in what, the hand or the leg? No, leg, but blood's on her hand. That's right.
Yeah, so that's De Silva and Chucky get into like they're just shooting at each other, and she gets shot in the leg, and it's the worst acting moment. Like, it doesn't make sense. You got shot in the leg, and she's like, "Go on without me. Here, take this." Like, she's dying. Like, calm down. You were shot in the leg. You're gonna be all right. Like, don't worry about it. So Tyler is running and climbs up this mini mound of what looks like poop, potentially, and his leg gets caught. That's when Chucky then arrives and again tries to play hide the soul. It's his favorite game. This for this movie.
Fucking damn it!
Yeah. Well, in that moment, Tyler gets away and climbs onto a winged demon thing.
But how he gets away is because on the coaster, on the track, there's a giant Grim Reaper scythe that just swings down before they get there, being like, ooh, ooh. Of course, it's where Chucky is standing, and half of his fucking face gets cut off.
And that cut is dope, dude.
Yeah,
like,
dude. That's like very human, too.
Yeah. And we get this awesome cut where, like, we see the blade moving away and half of his face is just sliding off of the fucking blade. It's so awesome. Yeah. And then, the inside of his face is all meaty and like stringy and shit. And he just screams. Yeah. His eyeball is still attached somehow and moving. It's fucking awesome. But
love this.
Tyler jumps on top of the demon. Chucky grabs onto the legs, and
so before he hops on the demon, there's a full body Chucky walking scene. It's very brief and it looks incredible. The animatronics in this movie again have been upped. and it just looks phenomenal. Especially the, hey, you're seeing full body Chucky. You can't see anybody puppeting shit, any wires, anything like that. And it looks incredible. Especially when he hops on the demon and he's kind of like, just kicking his little feet.
That's the only scene of animatronics in the movie that I'm like, it's too much. Like, the kicking is too much. Like, maybe
really?
swing. If his legs were swinging, not kicking like crazily, I feel like it would have looked a little more realistic instead of just like, no one's going to hang on. If you kick that much, you're going to lose your grip. Like, either just
I've
hang
never been
there.
in that situation.
You never hung from anything before?
Well, yeah, but I haven't like hung from anything for an elongated period of time, or like moving,
point.
or a demon in the sky.
Oh yeah, different
Not this
times. Back in the 90s, we used to have to climb a rope in gym class when we were in elementary and middle school.
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah, it was not pleasant. You don't kick your legs.
You idiot! You don't kick your fucking legs.
So the cool little inside bit about the short bit of us seeing Chucky walk with nothing attached to him, it's a floor rigging. You remember how you were telling me about the Frankenstein's monster?
Yep.
Same deal.
Hey.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
It gets used still to this day. How cool is that? I don't know about still to this day. It was used in 1991, so
Still to this day.
thanks, Abbott and Costello. We will always say thanks, Abbott and Costello, because we love you guys. Boy, howdy do we ever. So they get up to the top of Skull Mountain. That's what I'm calling it, even though this isn't He-Man. And Chucky, then again, is attempting to play Hide the Soul and getting damn close this time.
How long is this fucking curse? I don't remember.
So you really want to know?
Yes.
Okay, so live on air, unedited. You're not cutting this out. I want you to open Google
Fuck.
and type in Chucky Dembala chant. There is an entire fucking chant for it. You can actually see how long it is. And if you go deeper, it will tell you how many times you have to repeat it for it to work.
Oh, no. The chant. Where did half the screen go? Does he say it in French and then English? Because all I'm
He
seeing
sure
is
does.
English. And oh, that's the whole thing? Times
is.
3, let alone the fact that he's talking in French. Yeah, because it's like voodoo shit. Times 4,
Yep.
times 3. Fuck. Yeah, because he just goes on about Dambala, Dambala, Dambala. It's like, fuck, you've said it like 7 times. Anybody got to come and intervene yet?
You got to get Dembala's attention. He's a busy lord. So
what's that? Someone calling me?
Andy ends up climbing the mountain unsuccessfully the first time. He falls down, he goes boom, and then he gets back up and climbs back up, and he's not the best shot and shoots once at Chucky and misses, shoots the second time and blows Chucky's left arm clean off of his body. Best part, doesn't stop Chucky. He screams for a minute, continues to try and play Hide the Soul. He has no fucks to be given. Andy
Almost
aims
have
one
it.
more. Yeah, Andy aims one more time, shoots Chucky square in the chest. Chucky flies off of Skull Mountain. Andy gets up there, checks on Tyler, and then Chucky jumps out from behind Andy and kind of gets him in this chokehold. Tyler falls. Andy grabs his hand. Tyler hands him the knife that Andy handed him, and in one swift movement, cuts Chucky's right hand off and yeets him off the mountain into, again, an OSHA violation of a fan. And Chucky is blown to smithereens into multiple pieces. The fan explodes like, 5 times?
Just about.
uh,
Again, when I said the only thing I remembered about this movie was the ending, all I can remember is like he fell into a fan in hell.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here, like, I watched this when I was probably just under 10 years old, I'm pretty sure.
right.
And I haven't seen it since. I am not just under 10 years old anymore. It's been quite a few years since then. But I'm sitting here going, how the fuck did they get to hell? And why is Chucky exploding on a fan? Fan doesn't have any, fan doesn't have any hells. Hell doesn't have any fans. Jesus Christ.
You're good. You're doing great. We're okay. So we then get a cut to the outside. There's cops and ambulances everywhere, and for some reason, Andy gets arrested. That's the end of the movie.
Yep.
That's it. That's Child's Play 3, folks.
Before we go anywhere on that,
Yes.
there's still way too many people in this carnival for them to be shutting down all the lights like that.
Mm-hmm.
Way too many people. There's people still in the middle of it, and there's still a guy picking up trash in like the carousel in the middle of the place. And nah, fuck it. They'll be fine. Walk out.
Yeah.
You'll be great. Irresponsible.
Well, the movie was over, so they only had budget for enough lighting for that one scene, and they had to shut the lights off. So,
Yeah.
but that is 1991's Child's Play 3. Not the best entry into the franchise, in my opinion. It's still a great movie. I really do enjoy it. If you can find the director's cut, I highly recommend watching director's cut, even though it's a lot more of like, we're getting to know too much about these characters, especially Whitehurst's background. But
Yeah.
anyway, I'm going to go ahead and say that the bloody legend of this week probably will be, well, that's not true. Bloody legend of the week is Don Mancini again, because he is fucking amazing. He's done so much for horror. He's done so much for the queer community. When it comes down to horror, he's an amazing writer. He's never given up on Chucky or the franchise, and he has just only improved as the films and the TV series and everything that he's put his hands on has gone. I love Don Mancini. So, Bloody Legend of the Week. Yeah, you go.
Little fun fact before we go any further.
Yes?
I was about to just turn off this movie at the very end, and I look up at the credits, and it says stunt coordinator. Did you see who the stunt coordinator was?
I did not.
The stunt
I'm about to get
coordinator.
educated on something I love.
Yes, the stunt coordinator is Dick Warlock.
Bless
Does
you.
that name sound familiar to you?
It sounds like the weirdest warlock in the world.
Dick Warlock is Michael Myers in Halloween 2. He's also in Season of the Witch as the robot who gets punched in the stomach by Tom Atkins and starts excreting frozen orange juice from his mouth. That's Dick Warlock.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
That
Yes!
is so cool.
Jason knows something about Child's Play that Rob doesn't? Suck it, nerd!
Wait, who's the real nerd?
Shit!
And it backfired. So, Jason Michael,
Yes, sir.
on a scale of 1 to 10, hide the souls, how many hide the souls would you give Child's Play 3?
I went into it with a huge expectation. Again, I've seen it once before, but I don't remember anything about it besides the ending. I went into it with a huge expectation because I loved 2. 2 is fantastic. 2 is my favorite. Unfortunately, it did not deliver on a lot of it. Again,
Mm-hmm.
Chucky through the whole thing, really good. Really, really good. Everything else was passable. I didn't really give a shit about anything else besides the garbage man. And I don't know, it kind of fell flat. Even the ending, remembering it for what I did, I wasn't the biggest on this movie. What I did think was cool and is a nice little, oh, that could be a spoiler sleepover reference. When he throws the grenade, he says, "Sayonara, suckers." So,
Yep.
yeah.
Sayonara,
with-
suckers.
With that, you're not going to like my answer. I'm going to give it a 5.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
No, I wasn't expecting a high one from you. I'll just jump right into it. It's an 8, hide the souls for me. If this was my first introduction into Child's Play and Chucky, honestly, I think my score would have been a lot lower. Also, if I just didn't love this franchise so much, I'd probably be giving it a 5 myself. But the fact that Don Mancini was really trying, and he had so much against him making this movie, this specific one, that he was still able to even get out what he got out and put out what he got to put out is amazing. So, yeah, a 5 from you, an 8 from me, which is crazy because it's my franchise and it's not a 10. Wait till Bride. Yeah, buddy. So that's our rating. Let us know how you feel about Child's Play 3. because we want to know. We're actually genuinely curious. We always want to know what you feel about any of these movies on this season, because it's a season. We've had roller coaster
We live in a
rides.
season.
Last week I gave a movie a fucking 2, so
Yeah.
you never know what to expect. But before we end this, we always like to thank the people that make this podcast possible, the people that support us, the people that love us, all of our amazing suckers and listeners out there. Jason,
Sir.
Michael,
Hi.
who would you like to thank this week?
Robert.
That's
Yes, that is you.
me.
I was
Jesus
answering
Christ,
your
sorry.
question. I would like to thank you, Rob. Continuing with, again, I never really watched Child's Play, especially the fact of I barely remember seeing some of them, and giving the chance to go back and recapture these moments, whether it's good or whether it's bad, whether it's a great movie, whether it's either one. It's still great to have these all in my repertoire now. So thank you again, as always, for that. I would like to continue to thank my better half in England. We're almost at that time where she gets to come over, but it's difficult. Distance is difficult, but we're getting by. We're having fun, and we have a lot of fun things planned for the summer. So that's grand. And of course, I would like to thank Mr. Cyrene or Goxara. We haven't spoken in a while. But the lad is very busy, especially with some recent life updates, and I'm very excited for him. But continuing to just be a solid rock, as well as my buddy Tim and my friend Dominique, who, stay tuned, but just playing games, having the best time, being each other's support group. It's awesome. So,
Yeah, buddy. Well,
what about you?
I would like to thank you.
Hey.
Per usual, you're behind the scenes, constantly rocking the editing, and now rocking the YouTube game for us. I got us set up on YouTube just so our episodes are up there, but that's all it is. It's just the title card. You can listen to us and look at the title card in whatever size you'd like to. But you are now doing some editing magic, adding photos and some musical cues that aren't on the normal episodes and stuff. So I want to thank you for doing the extra work on that end, because that's dope. I'm not so great on the YouTubes, but you are a seasoned vet when it comes down to that sort of stuff.
Hey, thanks, man.
No,
I
thank you.
couldn't work out my webcam last week, but boy howdy.
So I also would like to thank my fiance again for always being so supportive and making sure that we've got the time to do this uninterrupted, and just being great and being super supportive and loving. And other than that, as always, we have to thank Anna over at Vegan Curious, formerly Willow Tree Kitchen, still the same amazing baked goods. Please go over to her Instagram or her Facebook, or go to vegancurious.com. Oh, I'm sorry, vegancuriouskitchen.com, and go reach out to her. Find out where she's going to be at. She's doing events constantly, and you can find all her baked goods at those places. If you don't want to go to an event and you want to go relax, you can go to Cafe Killam. This cafe in New Hampshire actually carries her baked goods. So if you're in New Hampshire, or you're in any of the areas of Maine or Massachusetts that are close to New Hampshire, go buy one from a cafe, man. Like, support local businesses, support small businesses, but also just support Anna. Like, she's a fucking rock star, and she makes some dope food that you would not believe is vegan. That is who we have to thank. We also want to always thank you, suckers. Ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends are the reason we keep doing this. All of the love and support we get from y'all makes this just so much better. We do this because we love doing it, but we love hearing from y'all and seeing the love and support. But that's enough of that. Jason Michael.
Yes, sir.
What the fuck are we talking about next week?
You're so excited for it. I know it.
I really am. We're doing something different. So
we are
I'm
doing
excited.
something different and something special. We are doing a very special double feature. That means you're not only getting one episode with our illustrious voices during the day, you are getting two And you're also getting 2 episodes based on 2 of the coolest fucking Universal monsters there are. We're doing a double feature of Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein. So get ready for that next week. You will have 2 episodes on that Sunday, and hopefully it'll tide you over until next week. 2 episodes? Come on now. You can do it.
Yeah, we got double features coming up, and it's going to be awesome. I'm so excited to go back and rewatch these because they're both fucking dope movies. I'm so excited. And I'm excited to talk about them. Spoiler for all you people out there. But until next week, sleep tight, suckers. Don't fuck with the chalk.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Spoiler Sleepover, but the fun doesn't stop there. Go follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Spoiler Sleepover, and be sure to check out our website www.spoilersleepover.com for more. That would be really fantastic of you. So until next time, sleep tight, suckers.
Spoiler Sleepover is sponsored by Vegan Curious, a one-woman owned and operated bakery that's out of this world.
Vegan Curious offers baked goods so delicious even meat eaters from Mars won't know they are cruelty-free. Vegan Curious is based out of Kitchen Local in Amesbury, Mass.
For all inquiries and information, go to vegancuriouskitchen.com and follow Vegan Curious on Instagram and Facebook.